local weather with the KX Storm Team.
Now that looks like fun. It's Madison, Rachel, Fletcher, and Lillian at a very cool above-ground pool in Kenmare. Nice job with that. Hey, Tom. You know, last night, and certainly if you live around Dickinson or Bismarck, you weren't in on the action last night, but in the north, this really was a nice rain. In most cases, it was a very nice rain that just kind of gently rained all night, and then some pretty good amounts. I just picked out a few of them here. You can see on Highway, right around Highway 2, about 1.5 inches, just northeast of Stanley, 1.3, around Wild Rose, over 0.5 inch, south of Lignite, over 1 inch, and around Minot. Minot itself got, and I saw two numbers north and south of town. The biggest number I saw was 0.8, just east of town, came in at 1 inch on the radar anyway. Radar estimation 2.5 inches. This is actually 12 miles south of Dulac, and I have a friend that farms. They have Hilltop Farms south of Dulac, 4 miles. They had 1.4, I believe, and over 2 inches southwest of Berthold. So this really was nice. Northwest of Carlsruhe by a couple of miles, 1.9 inches, at least according to the radar. In Velvet itself, right at 3 inches. On Highway 41, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. You can see Harvey, and Harvey actually was one of the areas that had a real downpour this morning. Rick Jensen at KZZJ Radio, or KHND Radio, sent us a video of just quite the rainstorm. 2 inches there, you can see that. And the southwest did get a little bit last night, and not much, but northeast of Bowman about 0.5 inch, at least according to the radar. Now, over the next several days, the threat of rain is really going to drop off, but once we get to, well, maybe Saturday night, there might be some storms here or there, maybe Sunday, but next week, we're starting to see a lot of things indicating we could get some widespread soaking rain right where we need it. So keep your fingers crossed, because you know, this is North Dakota, weird things happen, and it seems like we don't get the rain, but right now we are seeing a lot of signs for next week. For the rest of tonight, there's still the severe thunderstorm watch off to the east right now, and that watch box has actually shrunk. The temperatures finally got into the 80s. It took a while, especially in the north with the cloud cover and the rain, but 80s widespread, 86 in Bismarck. The wind speed has been pretty light. It's mostly 5 to 15, but there's a couple areas that are a little bit more than that. You can see Williston at 20 miles an hour for the wind, but overall, not a terribly windy day. What we are, though, and this is the latest drought monitor, we are dry. We need some serious rain. This is now a severe drought around Bismarck and Mandan, the rest of the area under a moderate drought. So here's the radar. This isn't going to be drought-busting rain by any stretch, but there is still some rain in eastern Montana, also in the northern part of the state. Again, these are just quick little showers. This will help, but it's not going to be a drought buster by any stretch of the imagination. Next 72 hours for Dickinson, 20% chance, but look at those temperatures. Saturday, mid-90s, around 90 on Sunday, 94 or so in Williston on Saturday. That is going to be very hot. Tonight, 50s to around 60 degrees. Daytime highs tomorrow back into the 80s. Here's a look at the Bismarck 7-day outlook, and yes, we've got that hot weather, but next week, Lauren and Nicholas, keep your fingers crossed. We really need the rain, and it looks like we just might get it.
Yeah, and some nice rain today. I
a little
sat
bit, yeah.
outside for the 15 drops that we got here. It was beautiful.